How do you really know that God will not fail to love you? Well, one way you can know is by looking at how Jesus treated Judas. Wednesday of Holy Week is sometimes known as Spy Wednesday. It's known as Spy Wednesday because it's the day people remember Judas agreeing to betray Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Judas acting like a spy, going behind the scenes, but of course Jesus knew. And Judas, in the end, he didn't just betray Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, leading the people who would eventually arrest him right to the place where Judas knew he was going to be. Judas also gave up on Jesus. He gave up on believing that Jesus really would love somebody like him. Judas felt incredible remorse after he saw the damage that he had done and what was resulting in Jesus' life, that he was arrested and beaten. And it didn't look very good for him. Judas went back to the people who had paid him, threw the money at their feet, and said he had betrayed innocent blood. And he went out and he ended his life, believing that Jesus could never love someone like him. And so he believed a lie. Because all we see Jesus doing that entire week is loving someone just like him. Jesus knew everything that was going to happen. He knew that one of his disciples was going to betray him. He knew that it was going to be Judas. And yet Jesus still invited Judas to celebrate the Passover with him. And not just to celebrate the Passover, the most meaningful night of the entire year with him, but it seems to sit right next to him and enjoying the meal together. And then through that meal, Jesus is giving Judas subtle warnings like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Think about it. Think about it. Don't do it. And yet Judas still left. And later on that night, as Jesus goes with his disciples to the Mount of Olives, where Jesus was going to pray and where Judas knew that he was going to be, as Judas approaches him with his armed guard around him, ready to betray Jesus with a kiss, Jesus looked at him and he called him something. Do you remember what he called Judas? He called him his friend. And Judas, of course, hadn't acted like a friend. But that gives us a good picture of who it is that Jesus considers to be his friends. It's anyone that Jesus has an opportunity to treat as a friend. And that's all he ever did for Judas. Judas threw that away. Judas gave up on Jesus. But you don't have to. Maybe you can relate to Judas in some ways. Maybe you've turned away from Jesus during long stretches or short times. Maybe you're wrestling with a temptation right now, one way that honors God and one way that dishonors him, but makes life seem a lot easier or comfortable. When you're in those moments, if you're wondering if anybody would really love someone like you, remember that Jesus already did. He already has. And he always will. It's why he was there. To give hope to anyone looking for a friend. It makes me think of the last verses of Psalm 33. You see so many of the same themes here of having someone good to put our hope in. It says, we wait in hope for the Lord. He is our help. He is our shield. In him our hearts rejoice, for we trust in his holy name. May your unfailing love rest upon us, O Lord, even as we put our hope in you. May your unfailing love rest upon us. That's a good prayer. And it's a prayer that God will always answer. He will not fail to love you. Rest well tonight, my friends.